now want to do a little bit of a deep dive because I know this is a personal topic I enjoy, right? Because I feel like AI agents are the future, but there's some lots of news about how the future is already here, how a company is saving a lot of money by incorporating AI agents. So first of all, I got super excited when I read that, but then I said, you know what? That's how I'm, right? And there's new things. I'm like, oh yeah, this is working. But then I said, okay, let's deep dive. Let's get some more information about it. Let's talk about it because I just want to make sure we at least present was reality. So the company I'm talking about is Klarna. It's a 7 billion buy now, pay later. It's a fintech company, and they are making some waves about how they've saved a lot of money using AI agents for customer support, right? So I just want to state some of the facts from their researches. They are running an open AI powered chatbot, and it's been live for a month at least when the news came out. And they have used Copilot before. It's not like it's just a Copilot model. This is actually the agent being able to take from talking with the customer to closing the issues, just the agent fully working on it. So they said it was 2.3 million conversations in almost two-thirds of the conversation, and the work of about 700 full-time employees was done by this agent. The interaction time, let's say I talk to an agent, normally takes about 11 minutes. When I say agent, I'm talking about human, takes about 11 minutes, is now down to 2 minutes basing this, and is working in 23 markets, 35 languages, 24/7. So, and they're projecting, because that they're doing this, there's $40 million that they're going to add to the profit in 2024. Okay, these are all the positive news that's got me super excited. So I had to say, let's see what's really happening. Let's go deep dive into it to see how much is reality. So let's talk about some of these things, right? So do you have any initial reaction to the? I'm pretty sure we've talked about
No,
this. Do you
yeah,
have any thoughts on
absolutely. I think this is a good. It's kind of a bittersweet thing, right? So it basically says uh, some big company has found a productive use case out of AI in their business model, right? That's we have been talking about this earlier. Like as of coming out of December, we still had a lot of people figuring out how to connect their business models to the AI, what it has to offer, and we kind of had a hint that customer support is the first one, right? Because there's a lot of
that?
BPO companies or outsourced agents all over the world taking the job of taking a call and reading a script, and this is where I think this disruption is happening right now. So it's interesting to see where it's breaking ground, right?
So now I want to talk about some of the effects. So people are asking, so what did it take for you to get this done, right? So it's about
Right.
$2 to $3 million invested in OpenAI building this, and most of the investment was for on the people side, like finding the right people to set this up. So that's the upfront investment to make this work. So and then, as soon as this news came out, the next day, because they use five different companies for custom. This is a worldwide company, so five different fintech company, five different call center kind of companies around the world that they use for supporting them. As soon as this came out, a bunch of call center companies dropped to a 7-year low in the stock prices.
Jeez.
Basically, those who do many managing telecom work. So they were impacted in the stock market around the world because this came out. So that makes it even more interesting. So just in general, I 100% agree. This is where the future is going, right? And even Gartner promoted this in 1 in 10 interactions agents, any 1 in 10 interaction with agents will be automated, which has been raised from what they thought earlier. Contact center customer interaction, both digital and voice channels, are going to go keep increasing for the next few years. So there's a lot of positives to take out of this. Then I drove down into talking, going to Reddit because I don't have an account, so I don't know how to interact with this. So this is all anecdotal. But what I said was, this is all the flip side of what is the reality from a few conversations read, right? They said, if you are someone who has not done your homework, you don't know how to read a FAQ or do a control F and search for a keyword, then this chatbot works great. If it recites exact docs and passes me to human support fast because it can answer what is not easily available already on the website, right? So, and then of course from Twitter, chatbot is not that good, passes you to humans fast. Is this a PR move for IPO bound Klarna? So that's what I said. Oh,
Oh,
geez. So
interesting,
Klarna is
interesting.
trying to go to get an IPO, and for them to look good, they said now doing this, we say 40 million a year, and we are trying to get into IPO. You said maybe there is. I'm not saying everything is hogwash or full of, but you have to look at both perspective, right? So I'm not saying chatbot won't work, but I think it might be overstating the effect of what they've done so far, right? That's one of the.
That's a good one, Rajni. I think I'll pick on that a little bit because we saw this news article hit Air Canada, right? Coughing up free discount. The chatbot offered discount on the court rule, like you have to respect it, right? So the real question here is how much of this is truly possible in the long run with these bots or agents or any of this using AI technology not to make up things and get into trouble. So first thought that
Mhm.
occurred to me is maybe we should take a look at their terms and conditions. Maybe they put something legally there so they're not on the hook for any of this, right? Because it's clear that if you falsely do something, the court is like set a precedent saying, hey, you have to offer that, right? What's the risk factor? If you're saying you said 1 or 2 million investment, now it's 40 million saving. Is that what you said? 40 million? Is that what they're saving?
40 million, yes, 40 million, yeah,
Yeah, 40
in
million,
2024
right?
alone.
So yeah, this also means like, what does it mean? Like, yes, do you have enough war chest to fight off these kind of legal battles? There's a lot of questions that occur to me because it's still an imperfect technology with AI, right? So I'm curious how this all shapes up. Is this going to work out? It's great. They're advertising, like you said, maybe it's IPO related thing stunt.
So, and then one more, a couple more data points. Another guy who works on a company that uses chatbots, right? So he said 70% of my job is keeping an eye on the chatbot to make sure it's not talking BS, issuing
Gotcha.
corrections and apologies when inevitably the chatbot does talk BS, picking up queries when the chatbot just gave up for no reason, and easing customers who are mad at the chatbot. Basically, chatbot has not put me out of work, just given me the slightly different job of babysitting it. So again, this is
Oh,
one
so
person's
so they all
perspective.
became supervisors now. Everybody's a supervisor for the bots. Okay, interesting. That's a
So
possibility.
yes, and I think this is something I want to kind of pull thread. So a lot of the customer service leaders think they think it's positive outlook for chatbots, right? But they're struggling to identify metrics and the ability to drive how do you evolve this chatbot because it usually is replacing like low end work. It's a $4 an hour job or something, right? So it's not like they're going to be doing cartwheels for that. So I looked at why do 85% of again some of these numbers I'm pretty sure is made up, but let's just say a lot of IT projects fail. So 85% of AI project failing is well within the realm of possibility. So I'll leave that without challenging that is because inadequate data quality, lack of skilled personnel, unrealistic expectations, and challenges in integrating machine learning into existing workflows. You and I will absolutely agree to all of them, especially the inadequate
Yep.
data quality. So
Yes.
I think I think this is where the rubber meets the road, right? There's a lot of hype. Is it do some things well? Absolutely. Is it the next magic thing? Not yet. That's what I'm going to say. I'm pretty sure in the future versions will get better, but it doesn't matter how great this tool becomes if you don't do basic stuff like data quality, scrubbing it, or whatever you have to do to get the data ready. If you don't have the personnel and you don't have right expectations, if I come in and say, just like Klarna, Balaji, I'm going to make 70%, so let's just say 30% of your workflow disappear, or you can get rid of 30% because the my chatbot is going to go and take care of everything. You have to be cautious about it because none of this could happen until I now talk about your data, I talk about your workflows, and I talk about realistic expectations. And that's why I think you and I are playing around with this and creating agents, and we invite people to come and demo, test our agents because not everybody has $2 to $3 million to invest to make the
Right.
customer service better. So what Balaji and I are working on are models and demo areas where you can come in, drop your data, talk to your data, and then get a sense for how far will this help your business before actually committing to it. And where we can help is we can help you get your data better, and we are your lack of skilled personnel, right? So we can help with that. We are the skilled people, and didn't set realistic expectations, because I absolutely think this will help. But I also think we have to. Some people might need a guiding hand to get them there. Some people might know want just to test to see if it works for them. So I think it is all within the realm of possibility, but we have to be realistic where we stand today, right?
That's right. I think you hit it on the head. Essentially, what it is that the big guys can play with it, because, as you see, they make a correction of 2 million, 3 million expense. It leads to 40 million, so they have enough buffer to fight off any misgivings coming out of the technology, right? But the small folk, they don't. You're either in business or out of business. It's a binary decision, right? You do this wrong, you're sued and you're out. So I think we have to be extra careful with all of these technology. We have to be very thorough. We have to look at the data. We have to make sure we dot the I's and cross the T's type of approach.
Agree. And I think, but again, I'm not trying to be, this is one of my most passionate topics, right? So I'm not trying to be, I've never been on this side where I'm playing devil's advocate, but it's good to Iron Man the situation where we're not being like, oh my God, this works great. Everybody go get a bot. But will we get there? Absolutely. But let's just be cautiously optimistic about what this can do for you. But I think everybody should experiment with it. Everybody should see where they can leverage this, because it's not zero. It might be a 30, 40%. And if that helps your business, you should absolutely give it a shot.